Chapter 5 Care. As the figure of the white-robed man completely disappeared, a surge of turmoil rushed through Wu Hui's consciousness, and a segment of golden text appeared in his mind. The 5 elements formula. When chaos opened, heaven and earth were born. Yin and Yang, the 5 elements, transformed the universe. The text continued for nearly 1,000 characters. The 5 elements formula, defying heaven and earth, transforming the universe, the formula for creating all things. It can only be cultivated by those with the 5 elements physique. The 5 elements formula. Wu Hui faced the sudden appearance of the formula with a hint of astonishment. Could this be the extraordinary thing within the 5 elements pearl? Could it be a celestial ranked martial technique? Martial techniques were divided into 4 levels: heaven, earth, profound, and yellow. Most prominent families possessed only yellow and profound ranked martial techniques, while only a few superpowers had access to earth ranked techniques. As for celestial ranked techniques, they were extremely rare and almost impossible to encounter. If the 5 elements formula was indeed a celestial ranked technique, then there was a possibility that Wu Hui could reach the level of martial emperor in his lifetime. While lost in his thoughts, Wu Hui suddenly felt a sharp pain, not in his consciousness but in his body. At that moment, Wu Hui's consciousness finally returned to his body, and he woke up. Opening his eyes, he found himself in a familiar room, lying on his bed. Taking a deep breath, Wu Hui immediately sat cross-legged and began practicing his cultivation technique. However, as he started, he was surprised to discover that he instinctively followed the cultivation method described in the 5 elements formula. The barrier that had hindered his progress from the 9th star of the yellow rank to the profound rank seemed almost non-existent, as if it could be easily pierced. Wu Hui was overjoyed because this meant that there were no more mysterious obstacles in his cultivation. He could make further progress and break through to the profound rank. Just as Wu Hui was about to make a breakthrough with determination, the creaking sound of his door being pushed open interrupted his concentration. A young girl poked her head inside. The girl was dressed in a floral long dress, appearing to be around 13 or 14 years old. Her hair was styled into 2 pigtails, and her petite face had a fair complexion with 2 shallow dimples. Her big, bright eyes seemed as if they could speak. When the girl saw that Wu Hui had awakened, she exclaimed, "Ah, brother Wu Hui, you're finally awake." Seeing Wu Hui awake, the girl cheered with even more pronounced dimples, her eyes filled with joy that she couldn't hide. "Care, next time, could you please knock on the door before coming in? What if I was in a critical moment of breakthrough? I could have lost control," Wu Hui said with a helpless expression, not knowing what to make of this adopted sister his father had brought home. Kuer was a girl whom their father had found somewhere, and she was only 7 or 8 years old at the time. She was a dirty and skinny little girl, pitiful and unable to explain her origins. But over the past 6 or 7 years, she had grown into such a lively and beautiful girl. Among the younger generation of the Wu family, most disciples held a favorable opinion of Kuer. And since Kuer had no blood ties to the Wu family, she could easily marry into the family. Wu Hui regarded Kuer only as a sister and was very protective of her. However, due to his inability to make progress in his cultivation, he felt increasingly incapable of protecting Kuer in a world where strength reigned supreme. Fortunately, although other disciples admired Kuer's beauty, she was, after all, the adopted daughter of the patriarch, Wu Hai. Therefore, no major troubles had arisen. "Ah, brother Wu Hui, are you about to make a breakthrough? Have you reached the profound rank?" Hearing Wu Hui's slightly indulgent reprimand, Kuer smiled, revealing her beautiful white teeth. She walked to the edge of Wu Hui's bed, looking at him with excitement. I mean, if, just in case." Wu Hui shook his head helplessly. Never mind, if Kuer hadn't barged in at this moment, he might have actually broken through to the profound rank. But this also reminded Wu Hui that if he wanted to make a breakthrough, he needed to find a time when no one would disturb him. Perhaps because he had been troubled by the bottleneck for too long, He couldn't resist the opportunity for a breakthrough. Now it seemed that he had been a bit careless. How many days have I been unconscious? Has anything happened during these days? Wu Hui asked, as if he had remembered something. The testing of the clan disciples had already ended, and he still hadn't been able to break through to the profound rank. His father would definitely continue to support him, but how would the others in the clan challenge him and his father? His second uncle, Wu Haiyuan, had always coveted the position of family head. You've been unconscious for 2 days. Nothing significant has happened in the Wu family. However, brother Wu Hui's reputation has spread throughout Xinshe City. Ke secretly observed Wu Hui's expression and noticed no significant changes. She breathed a sigh of relief quietly, berating herself for being too nosy. Wu Hui smiled bitterly in his heart at the mention of reputation. It was nothing more than the reputation of a waste. However, he knew that the bottleneck in his cultivation no longer existed, so he naturally felt more at ease and didn't pay too much attention. At that moment, as if suddenly remembering something, Ke grabbed Wu Hui's hand and pulled him outside. This chapter comes to an end. If you enjoy the works of Changfeng Book House, please follow, like, and bookmark. Your support is my motivation.